The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is one of the most beautiful games Nintendo has ever created. It has beautiful biomes and just crazy themes all around the map. So in order to appreciate how good this game truly is, we are going to go around the entire map and look at my favorite top 7 places that you may have not found in the game right now. There are so many places, in fact, I cannot make this one video, and I will make it multiple videos since the map is so big. And if your favorite place isn't in here and you have somewhere neat to show me, leave the comment down below and let's get started.
Here we go.
Now, making your way to Zora's Domain, you probably would have never even noticed you passed through Tabble Woods. Tabble Woods isn't that noticeable at first, but I actually found it to be quite pleasant. There's actually some cool locales and stuff to do while there, and it's easy to miss if you weren't looking for it. It's an excellent place to ride the Master Cycle Zero because there's pretty much already a dirt path trail that you can follow, and you can ramp off of some rocks across the river back and forth, and it just works out really well, and it feels like a bike adventure, like you're biking up a mountain. Now there's a couple of spots here that I felt were pretty cool to be around, and one of them was the Lizalfos training grounds, where they are spread out everywhere, and if you're not careful, you will get beamed from every single direction by electric arrows, and it really makes you have to practice your arrow shots and get some good shots in. My other favorite part is when it rains, it's cool to go into these little caves that are already set up. It looks like from Moblins, and just chilling in their caves and setting a fire, putting some food in your stomach and just resting for the morning. It just feels so camping-like. I love it.
6.
Going back by Zora's Domain, we are in the northeastern part of the map when we come to Tingle's Islands. Tingle's Islands are islands consisted of 4 little islands that represent all of the Tingle brothers. You have Tingle Island, Ankle Island, Knuckle Island, and Dabdi Island. These islands are small and may seem insignificant, but they actually home one of the shrines that you must visit. But you might miss how cool that these islands actually are. When it rains or when it's cloudy, it really looks spooky-like as the helicopter drones start flying above. If they catch you, you're going to get hit by a laser. But don't let that distract you from how cool these islands are. There's also a whole bunch of cool little catwalks on the side of the mountain that you can go fear factor walking with. I mean, seriously, if you look down, it's just bottomless ocean at the bottom. And it's kind of scary because I actually think it's immediate death once you fall down there. So you got to be careful, but don't be shy to be adventurous.
5.
Northern Hyrule, by the Woodland Tower, we have the military training camp. And here is pretty much an old training camp that's been brought to ruin. It's in the swamp and the mud and it's just nasty. But here's why it's pretty cool. As a kid and in movies, you see all the time these old training grounds where these military personnel go training through. And it's pretty much just like that. And I think it's made for the Moblins to, mess around with. If you go through the Minchi Woods, you'll eventually meet your way to the military training camp towards your left. There, you can play around with all these cool obstacles set up by the developers. You can crawl on paths, walk on all these like wood beams and stuff and make your way to enemy camps. It's really cool and you can practice some sneak up moves and stuff like that and assassinations. And it's a real cool place. It's like a kid's playground. It's even cooler when there's nightfall and it starts raining. It feels like this really serious challenge that you're completing, and obviously you're just playing around and having fun. It's a really cool aspect, and I just love the way that the developers designed this area.
4.
Coming in at number 4 is Tenagar Canyon. Tenagar Canyon is absolutely massive and it is beautiful. It goes through the entire western part of the map of Hyrule and it is just beautiful. You can get on top of a giant tower or a mountain and just look at this thing and it is amazing and pretty impressive. Now, if we were to be even more specific, rather than just Tenagar Canyon, of course, I think that the Tabitha Great Bridge is what really brings this to life. It is just a giant bridge that crosses the canyon, and it kind of gives you that weird, creepy vibe when crossing a bridge, as if you're really crossing a real-life bridge and you might fall. It puts that sense of fear in you and excitement at the same time. What also makes this location really cool is Dinrao the Fire Dragon often comes through in the morning and flies directly below the bridge. So close, in fact, that you can actually reach out and probably touch him, but I don't recommend it. Ever want to go sledding in a video game? Well, how about snowboarding or shieldboarding? Well, here at Heber Peak, you can do that. And in fact, it's one of the longest distances that you could probably snowboard. Starting off at the very top of Heber Peak, you can see this giant snow mountain range, and it is just purely beautiful. As the snow slowly drizzles down from the sky, you can sled or snowboard all the way to the very bottom of Heber Mountains. Now, for this video, I wanted to go to a specific place as well on Heber Mountains. This specific spot being Picada Stone Grove. Here, you have a whole bunch of snowy area and mountainous rocks all over the top of this landmass. And if you fall down, there's like a really cool cave underneath with some enemies lurking below. Looking at it from the top, it's really amazing. It's like some type of earthquake or something happened and these rock sheets and these rock beds just split. And walking on top is kind of like, oh, this is dangerous, but then when you drop down below, it's really pretty and really unique. Next up, we have the Faron Jungle, and this is what's kind of weird because normally it's called the Faron Woods, but here now it's like a jungle. It's not called the Faron Jungle, of course, but you can clearly tell it's a jungle. But here, it's really cool to see a jungle in a Zelda game, period. You don't really get too many of them, and we gotta really take advantage of it, and it's just beautiful. Even when it rains, no matter what it's doing, the weather, no matter what, it is absolutely beautiful to see this place in action. There are some really cool trees here, waterfalls all around this place, and even another dragon named Faroche that flies through from time to time. It's really cool. There's lots of enemy camps, boats, and it looks really nice. At night, it's really cool to use the Master Cycle Zero and go throughout the dirt paths. The Master Cycle Zero actually has headlights, so it looks really cool going throughout the jungle.
1.
Now, you probably visited all the villages in this game, or at least thought you have. You probably went to Hateno Village, Kakariko Village, the mountains with the Gorons, all the cities and stuff like that, but here's one that you may have missed because Nintendo didn't show this one off in any trailer or any gameplay, Nintendo Treehouse event, or anything. It's called Lurelin Village, and it's the very southeastern part of the map, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's this nice little beach area with like Hawaiian-type villagers who do pretty much nothing but fish and help their families, and it really hits home because it feels like a real place in the world, and it's just beautiful. The people are friendly, everybody's trying to help each other out, and it's just a really nice place with animals running freely, horses on the beach, dogs. It's beautiful. Now, the reason this was my number 1 was not because it's the most hardest to find, it's the most craziest, wackiest, weirdest place out there, but it just made me feel a certain way when I found it. It feels peaceful. Finally, there's no problems, there's nothing to worry about, and everything's gonna be okay. And at nighttime, it's just simply beautiful. All the torches are lit, the starry night sky is up there, and it feels like everything is at peace. Absolutely amazing, and that is why Lurelin Beach is my number 1 favorites location in Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.